Hi guys, hi UFS players, it's Josepher, and I'm delighted to actually bring you guys a load of spoilers for the new promos coming up in March and April for UFS, and some of the uses that you could have for them in the coming months before the impending release of the Indine's Turbo deck set. So I'm going to get straight in with it, and the first one we have for March is the card Spine Sweep. Spine Sweep is 5 difficulty, 3 control, with a high 1 block modifier. The attack itself is a 4 speed low attack for 5 damage with Chaos, Earth and Fire, and the ability E destroy up to 2 assets. Now this card is going to be most commonly used in sideboards, though there are certain characters or players specifically that may want to use it in their May decks due to the solid speed, damage and block values on the attack. The effect is also going to be useful more often than not, as most people do use assets, but it lacks the throw keyword that its counterpart Spinning Necrodriver has, as well as some of the nice little extras that card has. Although, and while they both have Earth, they don't share the majority of their symbols, so it does give asset destruction a much wider berth. I mean, Homemade Explosives also shares a symbol with it, but you could play into that, and you could play into the fact that you're hating on assets, because a lot of people say that assets are very powerful at the moment. Asset-based decks such as Athena, Metal Man and Bishamon have also been on the rise since Worlds this year, so be sure to keep an eye out for this card, and I would make sure to at least look into it for your sideboards for those decks. Also in March we have the Foundation Remembrance, which is a 2 difficulty 5 control check foundation with a low 3 block. The symbols all Chaos and Void, and the abilities E commit, this attack gets safe, the keyword that stops you from being reversaled, and E on your turn only, destroy this card, draw a card, only playable while committed. Now I think the Remembrance is definitely a card that people will want to get their hands on simply by having a low block and the symbols that it has. And the ability on it is universally useful. Even if you know your opponent isn't planning on playing a reversal to make the first ability hugely relevant, it's still a foundation that you can destroy in a pinch to attempt to draw that last attack for the kill, or leave it in your hand to prepare for low attacks. Snake Man is still a relevant character, people. And not only that, but drawing cards in your turn is something that doesn't happen in UFS all that often, in comparison to drawing during your opponent's turn. So having a card that allows you to go on the offensive, particularly with the Void and all the Void and Chaos symbols, which really needed it, it's something that you could definitely splash into a deck. Not sure I would necessarily play 4 of this card, because I don't think it's necessary unless you're really hating on reversals, but it's definitely a card that you're going to want to have access to. The first promo that we have for April is a attack named Blaze Whip. Now, Blaze Whip is a 3 difficulty, 3 control check, high 2 block modifier attack, with the attack values being 3 speed, low zone, and 3 damage. The ability on it is Enhance Committer Foundation. If this attack is blocked, your opponent adds 1 foundation from their staging area to their card pool, and it's also ranged. Now, Blaze Whip is a card very reminiscent of the now banned card Blazing Storm, and is relevant to a great number of characters simply by being a ranged attack with the symbols it has, allowing it to be used as fantastic combo potential for attacks like Finale Rosso, Shield Ram, Mugshot, Leona Blade, and even Trinity Geyser. If you want to see other applications of Trinity Geyser, I have actually made a video for it already, so I'm going to do some shameless self-plugging and leave a link to it right here. Now, characters that make great use of Blaze Whip include Jida, Donovan, Lily, Dr. Cossack, Mega Man, and while there are plenty of others, generally you want a character who can increase the damage of this attack, so force your opponent into positions where they have to block the attack in order to not lose their health, but they lose their resources either way. Blazing Storm was an extremely popular attack, but it had a 2 check, it was a lot more difficult, it was a lot more damaging, and it was an extremely powerful attack, and it guaranteed the loss of their foundations into their card pool, but using this card with a character that can consistently buff the damage of it and whatever follows it is definitely something worth looking into. Our last promo of our spoilers today is a foundation that's also being released in April called Act of Treason. Act of Treason is a 2 difficulty, 5 control check foundation with no block, Earth, Death and Water as its symbols, and the ability Form Remove from the game. Remove a reversal in your discard pile from the game to remove one of your opponent's foundations from the game, from the staging area. It's a bit of a mouthful to say it all, but it's a very, very relevant ability to have. As the old champion promo, Cataclysmic Force, has proven, form-based foundation removal is an extremely powerful ability to have access to. Due to the cost including reversals in your discard pile being removed from the game, you're going to need a character who plays them, such as Jida, Cutman, Ash, basically anyone that makes use of either Nivos, Kasplat, or some of the more powerful reversals in the game, because anyone can make use of this card realistically, as it's just very strong. But given that Act of Treason is blockless, you may want to think twice about overloading your deck with them, because you obviously need to check your reversals in order to be able to remove them from the game to hit your opponent's foundations. I would say that if you're, depending on the number of reversals you're playing, any number between 2 and 4 is probably relevant to the number that you're wanting to use. And that's all of the spoilers that I have for you today. For those in the UK, don't worry. I know that the January and February promos took quite a while to get here, but I've gone out of my way to make sure that these are on their way already, and I've made sure of it, so be sure to look out for these in the coming weeks. And for you guys in the US, it probably should take a lot less time for you to get hold of these. But in the UK, do expect these to turn up during the PTC that I have planned for the end of the month, and we're running in Doncaster down at Zone Out Gaming Centre. And I've also got some nice prizes, hopefully, coming in the post that we haven't had in the UK as of yet, so you've got some nice things to be excited for that. So if you wanted to tune back in for more UFS news and decks as they arrive, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and leave a like on the video. Comment, actually, leave me some comments, and let me know if there's any uses for these promos that you can think of that I haven't already, and let me know what sort of ideas you've got. I'm trying to figure out people maybe sending me some decks that I could profile on this channel and kind of show off to people, so that you have another outlet to bring some attention to your decks. But if you want to see anything in the future, then keep in tune. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll hopefully see you soon. Bye now.